for another crazy adventure on Freaky Friday.
Wait, we're on an adventure?
We're always on an adventure, man. This is life.
don't
Life
think
is an adventure.
I didn't know I was signing up for an adventure. Like, I don't think I'm prepared for that. Like, I don't have my backpacks. I don't have, like... I'm
Don't
not
need
sure
them.
what you need for an adventure, but I'm
Yeah.
wholly unprepared.
Just an open mind and that spirit that you're ready to conquer something new. That's it. That's all you really have to have is just that inner drive.
Unless it's something high up, then...
Then a parachute. But hey guys, welcome back to another Freaky Friday. Now, as you know, we always get together on Friday, run through a little bit of the crypto news, keep you up to date, but then we go down a rabbit hole of craziness. Now, tonight's topic is a little unique because we're always working towards, making more currency, whether it's cash, it's crypto, it's gold, it's whatever it is. But we oftentimes forget the most valuable commodity on this planet isn't money. It isn't gold. It's time. That is the one thing that you can never buy more of. You have a finite amount, and the trick is we don't know what's in our wallets. We don't know when that time is up. Yeah, it's Friday. I can't type, obviously. So we're gonna go down that rabbit hole because a lot of us spend a lot of that commodity to try to get the other commodities, like crypto, like gold, like the dollar, all those. But what are we sacrificing for that? And what kind of tricks can we use to make sure we're capitalizing on both? We're going to get into that in just a second, but of course, we got to start out in the crypto news to keep you guys up to speed. And let's find out who's in the audience out there tonight. Say, hey, everyone. We got Wild Angel. Says, hi, Wild Angel. How you doing, dear? Joshua, my man. Good to see you, brother. Hello from Florida. I love it. And Josh, I got a shout out for you, buddy, because we're going to get into some of the information that you've been sharing. So thank you for that. And so hope all is well. All is going well, buddy. I hope it's going well in your end of the world. And Mo, good to see you, buddy. I'm not even going to try it. I was trying to screw it up. So, Mo, my man, thanks for coming back, brother. Even though I butcher your name, I'm sorry. Wild Angel says, life is great. Yes, it is. It is. Okay, Alpha. So, I always usually start off. Do you have something that's just burning on your mind in the crypto world you want to share before I start going down the rabbit hole?
Yeah, this one's actually pretty damn important. So, I was seeing reports... a little bit earlier, actually, I think about an hour or so ago, about CoinMarketCap front-end being compromised. And only after, CoinMarketCap's front-end is now showing a connect your wallet. Huh? CoinMarketCap? It makes absolutely no sense. So, yeah, it does appear that CoinMarketCap's front-end has been compromised. So, hackers have taken control of that. In other words, do not connect your wallet to CoinMarketCap because it's very likely that it is a scam.
Gotcha. Now, do we have any confirmations on this or any facts out yet, or what do we know?
Nothing from CoinMarketCap, but MetaMask has made a post about it, and if anyone has credibility, it would be MetaMask. It's also coming from another credible source, Loop, I believe. Yeah, Jameson Lopp, which is also a very credible source in the security sector. So, yeah, it's kind of like stay away from CMC for now. It's getting rough out here. It's funny enough also that it comes after this post that was going around about 16 billion accounts being leaked, but it was just accounts that have been leaked before, and maybe like 300 million new ones bundled together and then released as a package. So it's not 16 billion now, it's just 16 billion over the last 3 years or so that has just made its way back onto the internet, for everyone to see. So very possible that that has something to do with it, but, who knows?
What's really scary is you're talking 16 billion wallets. I don't think there's that many people on this planet. So it's like,
technically it's like you might have, it's not wallets, it's... email addresses, Google accounts, what's the word? What's that other thing called? Apple accounts, multiple things. So someone might have an Apple account, a Google account, and something else. So that's like 3 things out of 8 billion people. It's like one person might have 5 or 10. You never know.
That makes a lot more sense. I was confused. Like, wait a minute. Did we pick up more people and nobody told me? I didn't get the memo again or what? I was like, okay, you say so.
I wouldn't be surprised. Maybe they're just counting more people also.
Could be. So yeah, that's definitely scary, and I'll have to dig into that because I had not heard that one yet. So yeah, guys, if you're out there dealing with CoinMarketCap, do not kidnap your wallets, and please always be safe because man, scammers are working overtime. I'm seeing things go down left and right. I just saw Tactical Investing lost his YouTube channel, and I have no idea why. He doesn't even know why. He can't get it back, and so I don't know if he got hacked, compromised, if something's going. So, man, the world is in chaos. Things are scary, so please be safe out there.
Here we go. MetaMask confirmation, at least to an extent. Exercise extreme caution. Yeah. And on another note, it's always a good idea, a good practice to go to Have I Been Pawned? This site right here. Plug in your email address. I'm not going to click that because it's going to show my email address. And then you have a look if you've been pawned on the internet in the last 3, maybe 4 years. I know I have like some leaks from, I think, 5 years ago. Still out there.
So yeah, definitely share that link, Alpha. That way we can go out and check out our wallets during the stream or after the stream, whatever. And yeah, find out. And if you do have any accounts compromised, what are you doing? This way, can't imagine things.
Okay, there
that
we
one.
go. That's that one.
Stop touching things. But guys, go out and check. And if when in doubt, go through, add 2-factor authentication always on every account you've got. Make sure to put that in there. That is one of the saving graces that you can have.
Actually,
change your
share that
passwords.
advice in DHC's Discord. So if you're in there, you can go find it there. Just saying. No pressure.
Exactly. And considering 16 billion, yes, with the B, passwords from Facebook, Google, another one I'm forgetting, were compromised in a breach recently. I heard about that. Yeah. Crazy.
That's the one I'm actually talking about. It's not that they were breached recently. It's just that someone packaged all of that together as one .zip file and was like, oh, yeah, 16 billion compromised email addresses, passwords, and all of those things.
So one-stop shop for the dark web. Got it. Okay.
Basically. They were just like, man, we can't have 300 million there, 200 million there, and 500 million there. We just take everything, put it together, and be like, there you go. Don't need to look anymore. It's all in one place for you.
That's 2 passwords for every person on the planet. Yeah, that's scary. That's scary. So absolutely. So yeah, guys, be safe out there. But
in other Serenity.
Do what?
It was just one Serenity with 16 billion accounts.
I feel that way some days with all the crap I got scattered. Yeah, I don't even remember them. I got a whole sheet for that. But anyway, just be safe. So let's keep going down the crypto rabbit hole and get to the fun stuff tonight. So definitely got another piece of news is if you're a gamer and if you have been playing any games such as Off the Grid, Spellborn, Pixelmon, Forgotten Playland, DeFi Kingdoms, The Arena, Maple Story N, there is now an Avalanche Battle Pass that you can mint for free. Costs about 90 cents in transaction fees. But it's going to be tracking your gameplay and actually earning rewards, whether it's NFTs or actual AVAX. You can mint this Battle Pass. And I went and got one myself because I do play Off the Grid. And it says we've got ends in 25 days, 4 hours, 48 minutes, and 25 seconds. So I'm going to put this link in here, and this is through Magic Eden. So if you do play any of those games or you do like DeFi gaming, Avalanche has always been one of those that has highly promoted DeFi gaming. So I think this cycle they're going to be doing pretty good on that. And so might be worth it to pick up a Battle Pass now while you still can. And Rose! How you doing, Rose?
Hey, Rose.
Good to see you, dear.
He's just about to say that.
There we go. Rose on Rose. There we go. So good to have you back with us, Rose. We miss you, dear. But yes, definitely check it out. And I can tell you that I have minted out my Battle Pass, and then it takes you to where you claim your Battle Pass. And I'll put the link in the chat there. As always, guys, do your own research. Don't just listen to me or anybody else. Go through, read the documentation. Make sure you know what you're getting into. I can tell you I did mint my Battle Pass because I do play Off the Grid. And I'm going to test it out. I'll see how it does, and I'll keep you informed of how that's going.
So that's the thing, though. I don't play Off the Grid. So is it relevant to me, or should I pick up Off the Grid now just for the Battle Pass? Because there might be people that's but that's not relevant to me. What am I going to do with a Battle Pass where I don't play the games? But I think there is 5 games, right? 5, 6 games.
Let me go back to that list. There was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games currently, and more coming.
7 games.
So
So maybe I could just be like, okay, I'll try all 7, see which one I like, and stick with that.
Right. Or pick one up and then down the road, maybe a game comes out that you do really enjoy. It's like, oh, and you're not thinking, oh man, I wish I would have spent that $1, got that battle pass. Do your own research, decide for you. But I would much rather prepare right now while the markets are questionable and everything's kind of
Yeah.
Who knows what could
down.
Yeah, AVAX is down. I took some of my profit from the Tari Universe mining that I've been doing. I bought AVAX about a week ago, thinking, okay, I'm just going to lock it away, store it away for long term, and it dropped $3 over the last week. It's like, are you serious? Yeah, so whatever I buy, make sure you put a short on, because that's the way it's going to work.
Yes. On the bright side, at least, now anyone coming now can be like, oh yeah, I'm getting it for cheaper. Thank you.
Exactly.
Thank you for buying.
I think everything's cheaper right now. Yep, exactly. So that's that one there. Now, another thing that I've been telling you guys about for a while now is Rainmaker. Now, I know we've talked about this several times before, but they just launched a new quest series where they're going to give away 100,000 Rain tokens. Now, it's really simple to go in. You just have to follow them, follow their X, join the Telegram, join the Discord, and hold at least $10 in your wallet of anything. It doesn't have to be Raincoin or anything else, just anything. But it does have to be an OKX wallet. So, I personally took my MetaMask and imported into OKX, so I'm still on the same wallet that I'm utilizing with Rainmaker. But always make sure you're using dedicated wallets for each of these projects. Keep that stuff safe, because if one gets compromised, your whole wallet doesn't get compromised. So practice safety out there. I'll put the link in the chat here, so if you guys are part of Rainmaker or want to check it out, there you go. You can go do the quest there. And if you haven't started Rainmaker, man, I got to tell you, if the token launches, which is supposed to be here in the next month or so, anywhere near the value they're talking of 20 cents per coin, I can tell you over the last 6 months, I've racked up about $2,000 worth of coin. So, and it's nothing out of pocket. It's just create AI images, tag them, really simple. I've done videos on it. I've talked about it several times. It's not too late to get started. Rainmaker's got a lot of business partnerships and a lot of things going in the future. So I think it's a great opportunity for long-term play. But that's totally up to you as always. Do your own research on that.
Yep. Definitely got to do your own research. Although Rainmaker has been a pretty interesting project up to this point. I've used it quite a few times too. There is something that still bugs me about it, where it's like you join in as a validator and then you come back and it's like, oh, I have to do it again. And again, it's like every day you just have to go in, press, okay, I want to be a validator. And it's like, why? Why
don't you just work? Yeah, we're having the same problem with Helium Mobile. I've got to be honest with you. I love Helium. I love the Helium Mobile service. Been doing great, except the daily tracking. We've had to go in and redo it so we could go out and earn when we do our walks. To the point Wild Angel has like almost lost her mind a few times. Like, seriously, what's wrong? She's just like, I give up. I quit.
Reasonable crash out. Reasonable.
Right. Right. You install it, it should work. It should be really simple that way. Unfortunately, sometimes it doesn't, and that's why we are the guinea pigs. We're the testers. So, hopefully it's doing well for you. And personally, I'm still loving Helium, and I think even with Rainmaker, working through these bugs as we know that they evolve, that's going to happen. So, if you're willing to put up with that a little bit, it might be profitable. Then again, it might not. We never really know.
True. Everything doesn't start off perfectly. Oh, I did link Serenity's Rainmaker video, so if you want to go check that out, you can go check it out at that link.
Perfect. Thank you. And yes, Wild Angel says, there it is. My phone hasn't mapped in over a month. I gave up turning it on and off every day. Yeah, Wild Angel, your phone's possessed. It's about time for an upgrade. We're gonna have to discuss that because mine's working great. Use Helium and have the same. You do 2 rows? Okay, so yeah, it seems to be a constant problem with them, and that is one of the frustrations. It should work. It is. It very much is, and it feel like we miss out. It's like I just got done driving around for 2 hours. Why didn't I get any mapping? See, not just me. Okay, it's not just you.
But you still need a phone upgrade. That's not an excuse not to get one. Okay.
Right. Hey, if you get an upgrade, there you go. We like upgrades. So
I can just see Wild Angel giving us a side eye right now.
Oh yeah, she is down. Yeah, she's looking over glass at us like, seriously, people? Okay, so moving right along real quick. Now, of course, right now the markets are kind of ugly. And I know, yes, she did just get me an upgrade. Thank you very much for that, Wild Angel. Yes. got me new phone. It was great. My poor old one.
Nice.
I do way too much on my phone. It had issues. But right now the markets are definitely not looking good. But actually that can be an opportunity at times too. And had a few times. Okay.
No problem.
So Joshua's had that with Rover. I don't have a Rover, but I've been thinking about it, so it's good to know that same kind of problems. Wow, I just went total sideways. What did I do? Okay, back on track. I know where I am. Yes, the market. So, of course, none of us are happy about that, but there is a little bit of positivity in that, and I'll tell you why. Because remember, last week I told you that the Aether Edge is moving to a proof of stake, and it's happening as of July 12th. 13th. Yeah, July 13th. Sorry. 2025 is when they move to a proof of stake. So right now, all our rewards are down drastically because they've dropped down to the 21 ATH tokens a day. Now, starting July 13th, we are going to have to, our rewards are going to be based on how many ATH tokens we have staked. So to get the bronze, you're 2,000, silver's 5,000, and gold is 10,000. Well, here's the good news for these crappy markets, guys. If you're running an Aether Edge, take a look at the charts right now for ATH token. It has dropped to 5 cents down to 0.33 cents. So if you are going to run an Aether Edge or you have one and you're going to be staking for those mass returns, I highly recommend pick up some ATH tokens right now while all this uncertainty is running around and build up your position so you're ready to stake. Now, if you're not, that's totally okay. But if you are, man, use these rough times to your benefit.
Yeah, I recall someone in the Discord actually spoke about it. He was saying, my reward suddenly dropped to like 20. And I was like, oh yeah, didn't you see the video? Didn't you see we were talking about that actually last Friday? And he was like, oh, that's pretty. And I was like, but at the end of the day, because people are kind of going to be very negative right now, a lot of people are going to be like, oh, how dare you drop my amount of rewards? I'm going to sell on you now. Screw you. I don't want to do anything to do with this. But it's like, okay, I guess, cool. Sell. It's fine. People, others that are going to believe that don't have their 10K yet or not going to make it for their 10K, by the time we go to version 2.0, it's like, pick it up now. You know, buy maybe every 3, 4, 5 days, buy a little bit at a time. So if it does continue to drop, you're not buying at the top, basically. You're buying all the way down. And if it starts pumping, it's like, okay, it's fine. At the end of the day, you're still averaging out. You're not going to be stuck with buying something at 5 cents when it goes down to 2 cents, or buying at 10 cents, but then it's like, okay, I could have bought at 5 cents instead. It's like DCA. Yep. Here we go. That's the term.
DCA. Okay. I was going to correct you if you didn't have, but yes, DCA, always. In all your investments, I don't care if you're buying Bitcoin or what you're buying, always DCA in, because I guarantee the market's going to be moving. And we talked about that in Rags to Riches. We spent a whole year teaching these strategies. And so if you haven't watched any of those, definitely go back and watch the entire Rags to Riches series. I mean, there's so much great information in there. And one of the big points we talked about a lot was DCAing. Even if you have a chunk of cash, don't just buy it all at once. Spread that out. You know, work smart. That's what we really got to do, especially in these trying times. We got to be smart about it.
Oh, and we are not financial advisors, so anything we say is our opinion. You know,
very
don't
true.
Listen to us. We might not be the smartest people in the room.
Oh, we're not. I guarantee we're not.
That's kind of scary.
Yeah, I'm alone in my room too, but I guarantee I'm not the smartest person in this room either. So that's why I always say, don't listen to me. Don't listen to anybody else. Go out and do your own research and decide what's right for you, because only you know your situation, and only you can make the right call for you. So yeah, be smart about that. Okay, moving right along. Now, also last week, I told you guys about Deep In House, how they had a rebranded from Am Chapman. And they had a Galaxy Quest running where they're giving away $50,000 worth of tokens and Deep In devices. Well, the second week of Quest just dropped. And as you can see, guys, right here, the first week had 183 participants. That's it, 183. Second week, there's only 70 participants so far. So that's pretty good odds. You figure there's only a couple hundred people all fighting for part of $50,000. It's pretty good odds you're probably going to get part of that.
That's probably better than the lottery. So
exactly. You may not get much, you may not get nothing, but hey, doesn't hurt. It doesn't cost a thing. You can go in, do the Galaxy Quest, and this one is all about the Anon network or the Anyone router. I've got a couple videos about that, how I replaced the fan, how I set it up, all that. It's doing great. It gives me my VPN. It's not as fast as I would like, but hey, If I just need to connect somewhere real quick and I want to make sure it's not in the US, it's taken care of it. So pretty happy with it. But I highly recommend, if these free opportunities show up, spend a few minutes, give it a shot, especially if it doesn't require you to tweet, retweet, and go crazy on the social media, which that's one thing I like about these. They haven't been that way.
Yeah,
in fact, I can tell you,
they have actually been pretty nice. Their quests have been a pretty good line of quests, actually. However, I will say, I don't know what the problem was, but my Discord would not verify. So I didn't get to finish all my quests. And I was just like, that's so annoying, because it shows I joined the Discord, but just at one part where it has to like verify, it just wouldn't go through. I'm just like, screw you. I'm done with it. But also on that, the reason I wanted to have all my quests complete is because every week, as long as you complete all the quests, you get you into a weekly raffle, basically. So there's 4 raffles on that. And then there's a final raffle that has a bigger prize. So you have to complete all 4 raffles to get the ticket into the last one. So you have to like do all 4 weeks quests, then you get into the biggest one. If you just do all the weekly ones, you get into the weekly one. So, there's like 5 chances to win something. And it's like, I don't know, 10 people win every time. So it's like 50. There's a 1 in 50 chance, but I mean, like a 1850 chance of winning. I don't know, something like that.
1 out of 18. Yeah, 1 out of 18, 185 or 180 some odd people. Yeah, not very much. Yeah. So, hey, it's an opportunity, guys. And that's what we're trying to do, is we're trying to bring you the opportunities that may not cost anything. Maybe a little bit of time. Although time is a valuable asset, we try to keep them short and simple. Now, some of these galaxy quests are like a mile long. It's like, screw that. I don't even bother. These have been pretty simple and straightforward.
In one write the video on screen.
There you go. Okay, so see, deep in house. Okay, so next one, oh, that's right. Now, also, guys, I told you last week, or I put out a video last week about the MatchX Pros are back up and running mining the MXC tokens on Moonchain. Now, in our Discord channel, that place has been hopping over there, and all the people over there, especially Joey and everybody, has been going down this rabbit hole with me about how the earnings are doing. And we've been sharing our numbers, we've been trying different combinations, and I want to give you some actual solid numbers. And these were shared by Joey. Joey, thank you so much for putting this slide together. Now, this is his actual performance over the last week. So, as you can see, depending on your fuel tank level, depends on how many wrapped MXC tokens you're getting. Now, he was running the sensor tank at 1,000%. But then for the X-MXC tank, he started here at 230, and that was giving him 58 cents per epoch. Now, there's 6 epochs a day. They happen every 4 hours. That means he was earning $3.48 per day on that miner. And then he kept increasing his tanks all the way up until he hit, 641 is as high as he got so far. Now, he has done higher. Yeah, he has done higher than that. Wait, am I going the other way? Yeah, okay. No, here we go. No, 100%. Okay, 5, 10, 100. So, wow, I just got totally sideways.
Yeah, you did. You really did.
I did. Honestly, we've been going through so many numbers on this that, this is a great simple breakdown. But the simple fact is, if you're looking at getting a MatchX Pro, or you have a MatchX Pro already, or even one of the Neo miners, and you need help getting it set up, or you want to find out the best combination, definitely jump in the Down Home Crypto Discord there. Jump in the Moonchain chat. And man, Joey's in there, I'm in there, several people are in there really trying to help out and guide you through this. But I had to give Joey huge kudos for this chart, because yeah, he's up to making $9.60 per day per miner. So for me personally, I picked up a couple miners for about $100 a piece. Now, a couple of them I got wrecked on because they had already been onboarded, and I didn't realize that till I already received them. But the ones that haven't, that's an easy 10-day ROI return. That's not bad. Not bad at all. So I will be doing a full video breakdown here in the next, I want to work on it this weekend and get it wrapped up, hopefully. But there's a lot of tests we've gone through. We've gone through all the different tokens, because these can mine up to, there's actually 7 tokens listed. You can mine up to 5 different ones concurrently. But the only one that really had profit was the wrapped MXC. But I've got spreadsheets to give you all these numbers and walk you through how to do the fuel tanks, how to balance it out, what the tests were, and what the results were. As well as diving into Moonchain, because they've got some pretty cool things coming up on their future roadmap. So, has a lot of potential in my opinion. But as always, do your own research. Decide what's right for you.
Yeah, my only gripe with Moonchain has been how damn expensive it is for layer 3. It's kind of ridiculous. Maybe I'm just used to being babied with like base and Arbitrum being super cheap, but like Moonchain is kind of ridiculous with their gas fees and they're pretty slow. So it's like, damn, I don't know. that just sets me off on a very bad path.
You know, we've gotten spoiled. Anything more than anything up close to $1 for fuel is like, seriously, I got to pay $1 for a transaction. Man, I remember a few years ago we were paying $50 to $100 for a transaction on Ethereum, and we complained,
Back
but we
then,
did
people
it.
were rich, okay?
They weren't any richer, man. We were dumber. That's what it was. We were dumber.
That and any random NFT was selling for like 10 ETH. So it's like what is 0.05 ETH compared to 10 ETH? You know, it's like, but now we've gone through a very rough bear market where everything is kind of like, yeah, anything more than a cent is crazy. That's crazy
Right.
fees.
And the
Also,
technology has improved, so it shouldn't require those types of gas fees anymore.
I mean, even Ethereum right now is like 10 cents for a transfer. Ethereum, it's like 10 cents
Right.
for a transfer at times and less than $1 for a swap. Ethereum.
Right. I agree. There's a lot to be dug into on that, and that's what I want to do on that video. Is like, I want to find out why. Why does it cost so much? You know, where's actually these funds going? How is this working, and why? So yeah, keep an eye out for that. But if it is something you've got a Match X Pro or you're thinking about picking one up, definitely jump in the Discord and start talk to them. Find out the details, read through, because we've shared a lot of stuff and there's a lot of pinned posts up there for you.
Oh yeah, I definitely gotta like do a short clip on how to bridge over there because I spent like 3 hours trying to figure out how to bridge over to Moonshine. Oh my goodness, was it a pain?
It is.
But I got it right.
You did.
I bridged USDC over, and then I had to wait like 20 hours to get my USDC back on Arbitrum because there was no way to swap the USDC to anything on Moonchain. So they let you bridge USDC over to Moonchain, but you can't spend
You
it.
can't swap it.
So I had to bridge it back to Arbitrum, then swap it for MXC on Arbitrum, and then send MXC over, which took like 20 hours because I had to wait for the USDC to get back to Arbitrum. I was like, what? This is ridiculous. Absolutely
Alpha was
ridiculous.
having a total meltdown at that point in time. It's like, I'm losing my shit. Yeah, I could just see you melting down. Yeah, exactly, my guys. 20 hours? Really?
Yeah, this is like, are we in 2021? Even 2021 bridging was faster at sometimes.
Right.
Kinda.
I don't know why you bridge, man. I personally picked up my my MXC. I did on crypto.com and I did it on Bitmart, and both sent over in a matter of just a few minutes. So I don't know who you pissed off to make them. They made you wait for 20 hours, but yeah, you got to be a little nicer to the people at the door, and they'll kind of get you through the line a little bit quicker. You got to try that.
I'm gonna be more aggressive next time. I'm sure that it'll speed it up.
Yeah, I can see that. So also, guys, while we're here, I want to give a huge shout out to you, Alpha. Buddy, I want to say thank you because you have been grinding away on the Down Home Crypto Discord. You've cleaned up the channels. We made special areas. We've gotten rid of some of the old stuff. We brought in some of the fresh stuff, as well as you've added some security features, Alpha. So tell us about what security features you've instituted to help keep us all safe, buddy.
It's looking very sexy now, I must say.
It is looking sexy. I agree.
I can't give all the details, but I have a way to block any usernames. So no one can come in, join, and be like, oh, I'm Serenity. And then like join, change the name to Serenity and just spam everyone like, yo, I'm Serenity. Send an invite friend request. They can't do that. Maybe they can in some way, but it's very unlikely they're going to be able to break through. And then, of course, I'm working on, haven't completely implemented it yet because it's going to be a pain once it is. But anti-linking. People won't be able to drop random links anymore. So that's another thing that's just going to be nope. Of course, only certain people's accounts and stuff like that is going to be allowed, like me, Serenity, Sai, certain YouTube channels will be able to be posted, but anything else, nope. You kind of have to be whitelisted. You have to be like, yeah, no, you can do it. You chill. We'll allow it.
Yeah. And, send it to one of us and we'll review it, check it, and then put it up. But yeah, this is one of the ways we can try to keep everybody in the community safe because scammers are working overtime, guys. And so, Alpha, thank you, buddy, for keeping us safe while we're out there.
Yep. Gotta do it.
Absolutely. So, Before we get everybody up here, I got a couple of shout outs I want to give. Now, one I definitely want to give out, and he crashed our party last week. He didn't get to come up on stage with us because I don't have his Discord. So, Dabatola, my man, if you are watching this, dude, send me a DM in the Discord. I would love to get you up here on stage with us, have some fun. Hopefully, we get Toki and Corgi back with us. But I got to tell you guys, every morning at 12 noon Eastern Time, they have the Good Morning between Toki, Dabatola, and Action Crypto. And I got to tell you, starting my day out with those three is an absolute blast. But right now, Dabatola has started up his YouTube channel where he's streaming those, and it's also on X and several other platforms. But if you would, give Dabatola, go out, check him out, watch the stream, and give him a thumbs up and a like and a subscribe. And you might even find out there could be some giveaways hidden in some of these streams. And I was trying to find this morning's. Here's this morning's. So, if you don't know who the guys I'm talking about, there you go. There's Toki, our beloved Toki. There's Dabatola, and there's our beloved
before.
Action.
Never seen any of them before.
Never seen anybody. You have to.
Never seen him
Toki,
before.
you got to get in here, man, because Alpha's lying. He said he's never seen you before.
He's going to join and be like, "Who are you, fool?"
Right. How dare you? But yeah, definitely check out the morning show. It's a lot of fun, and I get some great information on it, on what's going on in the crypto space. So, give them a follow, like, and hopefully we'll start merging together and get some events going out there. Now, speaking of, I think it's time we start bringing people on stage, especially one person. And because, of course, I don't go anywhere without somebody who's smarter than me. I have no problem saying I don't know everything. That's why I surround myself with the smartest people I possibly can. And the one I know that always beats me on that game is none other than Mr. Cyrock here. What's up, Cy?
Hello,
Hey, how's it going?
Going good, my man. How about you, brother?
Oh, I'm glad it's Friday.
Oh, God, yes. I agree.
Yeah.
So,
That is
Mr. Yeah. So, Mr. Cy, I don't know if you noticed, but during Alpha's transition, he expanded Kier's Corner here.
What? It got expanded?
It got
Oh,
expanded.
I gotta go
It
look
did get
now.
I didn't even know that.
Oh, we got Project Duck Depression in there too.
You. And we got Mega Hash and Sonic Siren. So we've expanded it out, and I wanted you to give us a little bit of an intro on these. What exactly are these things? So that way people understand.
Sure. Okay. Let me figure out how to summarize real quick.
Sure.
I mean, most everybody here at this point knows Project Duck Depression, right? We're out here trying to, raise awareness for, mental health and let people know that, everyone's going through something, right? So, depression sucks, have a duck, and leaving them around and giving them out, it's a great way to, bring smiles to people. What the guy at the our local vape shop actually was telling me today when I stopped in. He said that people will legit come to the store specifically to go duck hunting. And they just call us, hey, the duck man, whenever I walk in.
That's awesome.
It's great.
I love it.
That is good.
That is good. So now, of course, most people probably know this, but if they haven't, you actually run two different music channels, and just this week you've released two different songs, one per each channel. So, the first one, of course, is with Sonic Siren Studio, and it's called Heavy. So what is Heavy about, my man?
Yeah, I mean, Heavy, a lot of times, it can feel like everything is a lot. Right, everything with the news, everything that's going on, struggling to kind of, keep your head above water as everything is getting more and more expensive. The stuff going on in the world. We're aware of so much, and but if you stop and think about it, it's only feeling heavy to you because you care about, right?
Exactly. And that's the hardest thing, is to have so much care, so emotion, and have all that weight on you and feel like you're alone doing it. Because it seems like most of the world, it's like, yeah, whatever, we don't care. But I got to tell you, man, for me personally, yeah, every time I hear more news and more trauma, it's like, oh my God, seriously, I don't think I can take anymore, because it's just this weight crushing down.
Yeah, it is. And we don't know the impact of living in the information age, right? If you think back to, the good old days, long, long ago when Serenity was a kid. Um,
That's a long time ago, man. We had dinosaurs.
all you really knew about was maybe what you read in the papers, if you read the papers, and what was going on in your town, your community, right? Like that's all that you really knew or really cared about, or that you were hearing about. Maybe you got some gossip every now and then, about what was going on elsewhere, but unless you were reading a newspaper, you could remain blissfully ignorant, right?
Right.
And it was just local concerns. But now, in the information age, we have the concerns of the world. So people who do tend to care more, and want to help other people and want to, bring up their community. Well, now their community is the world. And that's a lot. And you can get burnt out on caring, right?
Oh, yeah. You can. And eventually it gets points like, why do I bother? You put out your time, your energy, all this, and it just seems so overwhelming some days. And like I said, when I was growing up as a kid, it didn't really matter what happened within, 20 miles around my house. That was it. That's like, hey, that's another state. I don't care. But now everywhere is intertwined, and it's we're seeing the effects.
It's a constant state of crisis. That's kind of what it comes down to. We've gotten so used to being in a constant state of crisis that the weight just continuously builds, and it breaks the psyche at some point. It really does. Maybe that's why people have become so dependent on these LLMs like ChatGPT and all of those. Just earlier, I read another article where someone named ChatGPT Sol or something like that and proposed to this ChatGPT agent or Sol person in his brain. It was an actual person, even though he has a wife and a child. So it's like, damn, people really need that kind of connection in essence that bad, because constant sense of crisis does weigh down on you at some point. It breaks you down to a point where you just need anything you can latch onto. It's crazy.
Yep.
It's crazy.
It is. But now on top of that, the other song, because I said there were two songs, guys. Now the other one is the complete opposite. One is all about compassion, love, and caring, and the weight. And the other is I am pissed off. So tell us about No Kings, my man.
Oh, yeah, that one. That's on the Mega Hash channel.
Yes.
And that's so my Mega Hash channel is words are hard.
Yeah.
It tends to be a mixed grab bag of styles, right? And you'll see all sorts on that channel. But this song specifically it's trying to bring attention. I'm sure many of you have heard about the No King's Day that happened last Saturday. I think it was Saturday before. Yeah. Last Saturday. And this is trying to bring attention to that. And those protests were trying to bring attention to things that are happening in the administration. Certain bills that are being pushed through unopposed and being passed despite public opposition. But anywho, you can look it up, read about it, listen to it.
Absolutely. And both of these hit really deep with me. Personally, I loved them. I thought they were great. And I really wanted to give a shout out to these because you spent the time to help get these messages out, to make people aware, one, to let them know they're not alone. And just like Rose says here, where the empathetic people are burning themselves out, trying to put everyone else's fire while they're still burning. And it's tough. You're right. The good people are burning out. And so it's important to know that you're not alone. If you're one of those that care about other people's well-being, hey, so do we. So you're in the right place.
Absolutely.
Very empathetic around here.
Yeah, winning a Bitcoin block will solve, I don't know about any, but it'll solve a lot of problems.
Yeah.
I'll be more comfortable while I'm depressed. That's really what it is.
Just like crying in a Lamborghini.
yeah, exactly.
I think it
Right,
was
right?
just like 2 weeks ago, there was a miner who managed to successfully solve an entire Bitcoin block entirely by themselves.
Yes,
Whoa,
yes,
that's
yes.
pretty cool.
There has
So,
been a lot of solo Bitcoin mining tech coming out, and a lot of them have gotten a lot better and cheaper. I know one company is selling like solo miners for $70 a piece, so it's like, and they're barely using electricity, but they have that like minuscule chance of winning a Bitcoin block. Maybe just like have 100 of them, and maybe one day you'll win a block. Just maybe wait a year. I think that person, I think the one you're talking about, was running his solo miner for like a whole year, and then he finally got his win now. It's like, congratulations.
yeah, that's good because the odds are not in their favor. That's
It's
man,
not.
that's like lucky star kind of thing happening. So,
Oh yeah,
yeah.
you could run one of those things for like 5 or 6 years and never hit one.
Oh yeah. We did the math in one of the earlier streams quite a while back, but the numbers are astronomical. I mean, it's very rare that you're going to hit a solo block, especially with everything going on. So, hey, if you do, man, more power to you. And if nothing else, it's fun. Hopefully.
I think the odds are better now because there are a lot more pools that are better focused for it. Before, say a year or two ago, it was a lot harder because there wasn't people really focusing on solar mining. But now there's a lot better tech for that. So the chance is not as bad. It's still bad. It's just like if it was a 1 in, I don't know, 1 trillion% chance, now it's like a 1 in 1 billion, or 1 in a million.
yeah.
Like it's better. It's not
It's-
great, but it's better.
yeah. Not as near as good as you might think. But one thing that is always good is, of course, Wild Angel Creations is always making something that makes the life better. In fact, I know you've been working hard lately. Oh, look, you got a pet.
I got a baby. He was snuggling up to my mic.
Oh,
You can hear him. Can you guys hear that?
I can't.
Nope.
He's purring up a storm, and his motor is so loud.
So
Okay,
how's your
baby,
day
you're
off,
gonna have
Wild Angel?
Oh,
You've been
you
playing
know what?
hooky.
Talk about our topic being fabulous tonight. I actually stole back a little bit of time from, the corporate world. We had yesterday off because of Juneteenth, so paid holiday. Always a good thing when we get a day off paid. And, yeah, fuzzy shadow. And then I said, you know what? It's stupid to go into the office for one day. I took vacation. So
I'm
I
outta
took
here.
2 days. So I ended up with 3.5 out of 4 days of downtime because I work tomorrow night, but not a big deal. But yes, I have been mad at work with Dreaming Dragon stuff. I had a whole macrame kitty bed project that has been haunting me for 3 months, and all I have is finished work left. It's
I
great.
was hoping you were going to show it to us. You gonna show it to us?
I can send you in DM a sneak peek of the top. I can
You
do
can
that.
always
Let me
go
hit
get it and just bring it on camera. We'd love to see what you're making.
Honey, there is not enough room. You can't get the whole thing.
Just watch Ceiling Fan, you'll be fine.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I know.
I'll send you a sneak peek, and you can
Okay,
put it
fair
on
enough.
there.
You send that over
Um,
now. I know somebody else
I'm
that's been
doing it
working
right
really
now.
hard, and that would be the bird god over there, who's been elbow deep in grills today.
Yes, I have.
Hello,
You
bird
look like
god.
you're elbow deep in something else right now. How's it going?
Cards.
Whoa.
Ooh, what do we
that's
got?
A big stack of cards. Whoa.
MTG?
MTG.
Hey.
I am ashamed to admit it, but I'm overly anal with my sorting. So when it's time to finally add stuff to the collection, I hate myself every single time. I'm like, why did I do this to myself? But every time I try to differ from my methods, I get like a little brain tick, and I just like, nope, can't do it.
So you have to
Yeah,
kind of reorganize everything.
Well, most people organize it by color, by rarity. I go color, mana cost, rarity, so everything's like perfectly.
Oh,
Yeah, that would be a lot
that's
of
pretty
moving.
true.
Yep, but
Yeah.
you know, you get one card, you take one card out, everything shifts over one now.
Hmm. So anything after that, you kind of have to go and be like, okay, you move, you move, you move, you move.
See, that's when my binder gets a lot of blank spots.
Hmm. Makes sense.
I just
Yep.
saw Crow cringe like blank spots.
Oh, right? I want to
Just leave
fill
one-
blank spots.
Just leave one blank spot, like after every color, after every.
I've been thinking about trying to use
Mana
the
card.
art cards because they have. Where all my art cards go? They have some really cool art cards. Here's one.
Use them as placeholders.
Exactly. Find a cool one.
That way they're not empty, but
Exactly. They're not empty.
that's cool.
Ah, yeah, yeah.
Just using some of the
can-
really
that
cool
can
art cards
work.
that I get that don't use them for anything, but to use
Hmm.
them so that way hopefully I don't freak out.
Yeah, that would be bad. So, and yes, to real quick, guys, the Dreaming Dragon one. Here, see, click that. So, give you an idea what Wild Angel has been working on. There's our birds, and this is the creation.
It's about 7 feet from top to bottom right now. But it's all macrame. The critters are sitting on the top bed. I didn't have the second one on when I took that picture. But there's another one 2 feet down from that. So,
That is cool.
and then these
No-
little guys, next pick is better. Those are the tops to these little sets. Little itty bitty shorts. They're so little bitty tiny. Aren't
That
those
is
little
cute,
bitty?
though. Absolutely adorable.
And that is a little ballerina tutu and little tiny ballet slippers
Some bad shoes.
with the ribbons to tie up their leg and everything. It's so cute. Serenity, you're muted.
I feel it all
Oh,
done.
even surprised.
Yeah. So, if you want something custom, definitely talk to Wild Angel from Dreaming Dragons, and yeah, you can dream it. The dragon can make it.
Yeah, I will be posting links. Yeah, I don't think he'll fit those shorts. One of our kids would have when she was born, though. Actually, 2 of them, 2 of the 7 would have fit those shorts. But yeah. But
I was gonna say his hair could, but you know.
Wow.
I'm gonna
Here
be-
we go. Fights on.
I'm going to be putting some pictures, or at least giving them to Serenity and Alpha to post in the Dreaming Dragon Discord. So, yeah.
There you go.
It's awesome.
Okay, so we ready to go down the rabbit hole?
Never.
And now, never. Okay, that's fair. You didn't turn your auto crow.
I can't. If I do, the cats start to like hang from the cord and swing from it.
You need,
Okay, that would be pretty cool.
Crow, are you telling me you need a crochet, macrame hangy cat thing too?
No, but I need to get rid of some cats. If you know a person.
For adoption, please understand this is not just get rid of.
No,
Right.
this is get rid of. So, funny story this morning. Before we get into Jimbo's rabbit hole, we'll go to my rabbit hole. I look over and Ray's laughing. I look over, I'm like, what are you doing? She goes, she points, and I look over, and there's this cat laying down right in front of Mouse, and Mouse has the cat's neck in her mouth. Keep in mind, not harming the cat. The cat's just laying there, acting like nothing, but Mouse has her neck around this cat. Just... and I'm like, please don't squeeze your jaw and accidentally kill the cat. Like, please no. Like, the cat's tormenting you enough. I know it's well deserved, but please don't. I don't want to deal with the
Don't
mess
do
and everything. And then
Yeah.
she takes her mouth off and then like grabs the cat's like belly, and then starts to like almost like when you have an itch. You know how when dogs have an itch, they gnaw on that. She started doing that to
Right.
cat and like her paws and stuff. Not painful, just enough to like scratch an itch and started like scratching the cat. I'm like, what is going on?
She's looking for the squeaky toy inside. That's what it is. There's
Right.
her squeaky toy.
They have quite the interesting relationship.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Well,
Wow.
It
Uh,
wasn't squeaking.
I told everyone about the one time I woke up in the middle of the night to Mouse just like whining. Like I am in deep regret. I am like deep pain, sorrow, whining. So I'm like, what is going on? I look over and the cats are like attacking her tails, biting at her paws, and just beating the crap out of her, honestly. And she's laying there taking it. Just, I'm like, you could eat them.
Yeah, Mouse is not a small dog. I mean, Mouse stands what, about 3 feet tall on all fours?
Easy.
Yeah.
Instead
At
of
least.
eating the mouse, is just like, why are they doing this to me? I don't deserve this. I'm feeling sorry for
She's just sitting there
myself.
taking it. I'm like, why, you stinking dog?
That's crazy.
I wouldn't
CK,
like
up?
my
Hello,
man.
CK.
Good to see you, brother.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hi,
How's everyone-
CK.
Yeah,
What's
Feeling good,
up, dude? How's everyone been?
Doing pretty
Good.
good, my man. How about yourself, brother?
Good, man. Just loving, every day that God blesses us with. That's about it. I'd say. Beautiful things. Yeah, doing well. Been very busy recently, but good to see you too. Back from your sickness. You were sick, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was ugly.
Oh,
So thank you.
he is the biggest baby when he is sick.
Oh, yeah.
I got caught last week with, I don't know, whatever, flu-ish thing, but
Mhm.
I just slept for like 36 hours straight.
Whoa.
And then like my phone was swamped with messages and people were like, "Are you alive?"
No.
Reasonable.
Depends.
Reasonable.
Define alive.
Yeah, but yeah. So happy to be back. How's everyone
Thank
doing?
Doing good, my man. And we're glad to have you back here. And yeah, about to go down the rabbit hole because, we talk about crypto and, how we're working to make the dollar, how we're trying to get ahead in the world and stuff. And we always forget that while we're doing this, we're actually spending the most valuable commodity on the planet. The thing that there is not an infinite amount of, not something you can ever get back. And that is time. And
You can't even
in
have
my
a
neighborhood, okay.
savings account for time.
right. I don't know.
It
Si, is there a savings
expires.
account for time yet? Can we do that?
Yeah,
It
sorry.
expires every day. I want a savings account for time.
So wait, is that
Sweet.
am I supposed to answer?
Yeah, that's topic for tonight.
Oh,
dun dun
No.
dun.
Da, 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 da.
yeah. So I mean, obviously, yes, the whole thing. Wealth is greater than, or health is greater than wealth because health leads to more time. Like that's the end of it. They say, but who knows? My grandfather lived to 90 something, and he smoked a pack a day since he was 9 years old.
Whoa.
But the different times. In terms of the only other currency in time, it's interesting because when you look at it from an economic perspective, we went from the barter system to coins to fiat to which is turning into digital, or we hope turning into digital, right? Yeah, I mean, I can't disagree with it. I don't know if I'm supposed to make I don't disagree with it. Like, I don't know if I'm supposed to make a statement. I don't disagree with it.
Fair enough. Okay, so we started asking a question because I've been watching Wild Angel work on that macrame cat play thing, and I look at the hours, and I know for me personally, when I'm out doing an electrical job, I bill by the hour from the time I leave my house, the clock starts, because the time I spend just driving to the job, that's still time I'm not doing something else. And so, looking around the world, we start looking at what do people spend their time on. And a lot of us, we watch movies, we play games, we go to work, we do our day-to-day things. But how are you calculating what is truly valuable to spend that number one commodity on? So I'm kind of curious. How do you guys rate that? When do you say that, yes, this is worth spending that commodity of time on, or this is not?
I'll tell you,
whether it's
actually,
Good.
I have an 8 o'clock.
important meeting with the developer. So I'll drop and then come back. So I'll just give my thing quick. One of the biggest things I have, I wouldn't say, well, I say I have struggled with, or it's not really a struggle. I sound like a millennial when I say that, is the whole forcing us back to work in the office thing. And someone who lives in New York City, I have a 2-hour commute in the morning and a 2-hour commute home. That's 4 hours a day that I'm spending on trains, planes, and subways, right? So it's when I was first hired at my job, it was only 1 day a week in the office, which is fine. Then it was 2, then it was 3, and now all of a sudden it's 4, and now all of a sudden it's if your card isn't tapped on the machine before 9 a.m., you get a strike with HR. If you take a lunch longer than 59 minutes, you get a strike with HR. If you leave before 5 p.m., you get it. It's turned into like totalitarianism, I feel like. So I actually got into it with, not into it with my manager, but he sent me like basically these are the strict guidelines going forward. And I ain't gonna lie, I kind of snapped back a little bit, but in a very professional business way. And I was like, here is the offer letter I was offered that promised full flexibility. And now it is 4 days in the week with pretty much micromanaging, babysitting deadlines and times and stuff. Blah, 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 blah. And I got a little sassy, I'm not going to lie. And I was like, you have me scheduled to work the 4th of July holiday and weekend. But according to your policy, I have to work from 9 to 5 p.m. So therefore, if I'm following your policy, I cannot work weekends. I kind of snapped back a little bit. I got a little clap back. But and I'm going to end up working the weekend. And I know I am, because I care about my job and the work I do. But it still was the point I wanted to make was like the overreach of controlling my time was I felt excessive, I'll say.
Right.
What you need to do is negotiate for additional compensation to match the new things they are doing, because your offer letter states that flexibility, what your initial offer letter states, right? And you need to bring it back to the table and say, we need to discuss additional compensation because I am having to commute more. This is my commute, blah, 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 blah. So either pay to relocate me closer to the job site, or give me additional compensation.
Yeah.
You have that leverage.
Cyril, you know me. I always go sports shirt. So, but you're right. We'll see. He did not respond, obviously, because he's probably a little shook from what you said. And we'll probably have a conversation on Monday. But I do have to hop to this call, so I'm going to have to jump soon. But yeah, thanks for hearing me, and hopefully I can jump back in. I want to hear what everyone else has to say.
Catch you later, man.
Sounds good, but catch you back. So,
See, and I really consider myself lucky because in my office, well, some of the teams are like this, some of them aren't. My boss is very much work-life balance and very much believes in flex time. So a week ago, this last Monday, so coming up 2 weeks, I worked a 9.5-hour day to get through the rest of our audits. And then got to leave early on Thursday and on Friday to balance that time off, that time out. If I'm wrapped up in something and I work through lunch, I get to flex that time out. I don't have to just, I'm screwed because I didn't take a lunch. I get to flex that, and it's great.
That's pretty cool. Most people don't get that luxury.
No, like I said, and there's other teams that, if something happens and I'm 10 minutes late in the morning because of traffic, I just stay 10 minutes later. I flex it. My boss is okay with that. There's other teams, though, that they have to send their bureau chief a message, good morning, when they get there, and have a great night before they leave. it's that managed. I'm lucky. My bureau chief's great. But yeah, I could, I'm sorry, CK, I could not do that shit.
Same.
So I know,
Yeah, no.
I know a guy who, if it's the
Nope.
weekend, it's his time with his family. He won't step out of the house to do any work unless he's guaranteed to make $200 or more.
That is the
And
good.
he does.
I
And he
mean-
honestly, he does work a lot of weekends. But there's times when you call him up, hey, I need you to do this work. He goes, how much you want to pay me? And they'll be like, oh, 160 or 180. You know, he'll be like, nope, they had
Nope.
$200 or more to get me to even step out of my house on the weekend to do anything. And that's per day. That's not for Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That's every
Per day.
single day.
Right.
I mean, at the
That's
end of
what
the
you-
day, it's his time.
What?
He
No,
needs
he's not a
he needs to increase that.
Right.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, if they're paying it, then up it to 3, man.
True, because then you're valuable enough to go higher.
Right. But you know,
They're not
it's
haggling.
good that right. It's good that he put his time or a dollar amount on that time, because that's one thing we don't do. And yeah, Damar, I'm like you, man. I want my time. But you know, we think about this in work all the time. It's like, okay, if I'm going to go out, I'm worth this much. This is what I'm going to charge. But you know, what about the personal life? What about the social aspect of whether it's helping somebody move, whether it's working on your car or fixing something, a craft around the house? What type of calculations do you guys run? It's like, okay, I want to build a shed. Do you guys run through the thing of like, okay, how many hours is it going to take me, and how much is it worth to pay somebody else? Do you guys ever do that kind of balance, that kind of math, or do you just like, nah, I'm just going to do it?
Oh, I totally priced for sheds. It was okay. Serenity gave me the price up, the pricing, and I went and looked at Hickory Sheds, Tough Sheds, all those guys, and those do-it-yourself kits that everything's cut. All you have to do is stick it together. I check that shit out because I know what his time's worth. And I don't have the time to help him. But I'll tell you, I undervalue my time all the time.
A lot of people
Because
do.
I will actually price myself out of the market. So because people aren't willing to pay what my time is worth.
Yeah, I actually ran into that too. You know, I mean, I do a lot of Discord stuff, and often when I tell people my pricing, they're just like, that's a lot of money. I'm just like, well, yeah, you're getting 3 years of experience, and not just from someone that just randomly popped up. Yeah, I'm not some Fiverr person. I've been doing this for 3 years. I know the most secure ways to do these things. Pay me what I'm worth, or get the fuck out.
Right. Right.
No. It's like, I'm not going to haggle you. I've gave you my pricing, and you got to honor it. I don't give a damn if you think it's not worth it. It's not my problem. You came to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is pretty crazy, you know, like CK was saying, 4 hours of travel time is absolutely insane. They don't pay you for that time, especially because it's like, oh no, you're traveling, like, why much we pay for that? We're paying to get to that place that we can do the work. You got to pay me for it. I think
Well,
in SA, it's South Africa, it's quite often that they will give you a traveling allowance. So technically they pay you traveling for you, which is nice, I guess.
well, this is also the digital age. We have laptops, we have cell phones. How many commuters are doing business calls? Or if they're sitting on a train, a subway, something like that, how many of them are on their laptops getting a head start on their day? So commute time, if you're not driving, if you're not the one actually operating the conveyance, you know, how many people are actually getting a head start on their day?
And technically, that would be free labor, right?
Right.
That too.
So if CK is on the train or on a subway or something in New York and he's on his laptop and stuff, and he needs to renegotiate that for, like Cyril said, additional compensation, because 9 out of 10 he's probably getting a head start on his day.
Any after-hour work should be charged for. That was kind of one of the problems I had because a few months ago I had a job, kind of first job I've had in a while because I refuse to work for people. It's just how it is. I'm sorry, it's not going to work for me. I'm going to fight with him every day, and that's just I have a very strong personality. So you kind of expected a person to do after-hour work, and that doesn't work for me. You either pay me for that after-hour work or screw you. I'm just going to walk away because I'm not about to let you run my life for me. Sorry, I'm not getting up at 7 to be there at 8 because the shop opens at 9. What? You're not paying me from 8 to 9. You're not paying me from 7 to 9. It's not going to happen. If the shop closes at 5, I'm leaving. Don't expect me to stay till 6 because you have a delivery coming at 6. That's not my problem. It's not.
Well, yeah, plus that's illegal. Well, at least here in the U.S. I don't know how it is legally. Yeah, well, there you go.
So, I was just like, yeah, no, I'm not wasting my time with this. Bye.
Yeah.
And that saying is a lot of us, we feel almost hostage situations, whether it's at work, whether it's helping family, whether it's, helping a friend, like, hey, my car's broke down. I really need your help. Like, okay. And it's interesting when we start thinking about it, what we sacrifice our time for, and is it worth it? How often should we say no that we don't? Or should we reevaluate that we don't? And the question is, why don't we? Why don't we stand up like Alpha? Alpha, you are kind of a unique breed because you're just like, no! But of course, you also don't have a job. So I'm not sure if that's good or bad. But you're sticking to your values.
Yes.
And I respect that. I think that's important. I know I've turned jobs down saying, no, forget it. I ain't going to do it. It's not worth it. This is what I'm going to charge you. You're not paying it. We're done. Have a nice day. Good luck to you. But how often do we do that in our day-to-day lives? Do we sacrifice that one commodity for all the wrong things?
I used to do a lot of that. Not so much anymore.
That's good. So what did you change? Or how did you go about that to trim that down? Did you start evaluating that time was valuable, or did you just get tired of dealing with stupid people?
A bit of both, if I'm being honest. So, it was a case of putting peace above, pleasing, right?
Okay. And, that's hard to do, especially when it's like, okay, well, if I say no, then I'm an asshole. If I say yes, I'm going to get used. It's like, where do you win? Where do you draw the line on that?
Be an asshole.
Everyone is going to carry a version of you in their head that they have the most power over, right? It's just how it is. They're not going to see who you are fully. They're not going to see who you've become now, right? They're gonna still picture that past you in their head, right?
Exactly.
True.
Now, Crow, I know you have got a unique sense of time and what you will and will not spend time with. So, share some of your insights because you're kind of the younger generation, but yours is very unique for your generation.
I do show up to work 30 minutes early every single day. I just think I get there. Part of it's not rushing. I hate being late to anything. I always have been. I may always will be. That's like there's a snowstorm and we're running late. I'm yelling because I carpool to work because it's cheaper that way. I'm yelling at the driver. Hey, I know you're trying to be safe, man, but come on.
Hurry the hell up!
That's just me. I hate being late, but I have no problems helping the people around me, spending the time to help them around me, because I think I surround myself with people that aren't stupid and aren't gonna ask me just because it would make their life a little bit easier. If they're asking me for help, it's because they really do need it. So I have never once been like, yeah, no, I'm not gonna drive out to help you and just leave you stranded. Because I know if they're asking for me, they really do need it.
So I got to ask her, how did you trim away the fat of those people that, as we know, they're like vampires. They will suck time, energy. They'll suck the very life out of you if they have a chance. How do you keep those out of your life?
There's
That
the
works,
road.
okay.
There's the road. Pack your bags and leave.
Just
Like-
be an asshole.
Cut, like exactly like you said, cut it out of your life. No, you were officially being toxic to my life. You need to leave. Goodbye. Never want to see you again.
Harsh.
Sometimes
I like
it's
it.
all you need.
Right.
Really, it is that simple at some point. There's always going to be those leeches. There's always going to be people that want to leech off you and steal your energy for things that they will never give back to you. They want to take your time, but they want to reciprocate it. Find those people, snip them out, move on with your life. The next time you come across someone like that, do the same thing. It's like, it's really not that hard. Someone that one of my lecturers from university, Professor Pick, she will always say, you have to say no. You can't always say yes. Sometimes you just have to be that person to say no. And it's not rude, it's not mean, it's just that you have to lay down some values for yourself. You have to establish whether or not something is worth it in terms of your time, your energy, and your mental health. Because every time you do something for someone, it takes up part of your mental health at the same time. It's like you do put in this energy in for someone else, not yourself. So is it worth it? You have to do that. And I do that all the time. I look at something, I'm like, is it worth my time? Maybe, maybe not. Sit on it, think about it further, because sometimes you just need to take that pause also. You can't constantly jump from one thing to the next. You can't react. You need to take that second and be like, thinking about it, I don't think it's worth my time. I'm done. Thinking about it, could be worth my time. I can see how it could work. We'll put a maybe on it for now. Think about it a little bit more, and then you come back to it. You really need to take those pauses. My brother was actually watching a video on that last night where the person was saying, we've gotten to this point where you just want to react. Something happens, you react immediately. You comment immediately. But if you want to really get somewhere, you have to take that time to take a pause. You have to take a breather. You have to look at a question, not say anything immediately. Give the brain that time to process. Because when you give your brain that silence, it processes faster. Once it processes, then you have a better answer.
Yep, exactly. And that's one of the hardest things. It's just like Josh was saying. It's like be an asshole when it's needed, and sometimes you got to be, buddy. And other times, like saying Alfie, you got to just stop. And they're like, yeah, but the house is on fire. You got to do this. You got to do this. No, I don't. Let's just stop. Let's take a break. Take a step back, and let's think about this for a second. Then we'll proceed. Otherwise, Crow, I have worked with a lot of people who just run around in circles, spinning their wheels like, what are you doing? I'm just running over here, run over here. Did you finish anything at the end of the day? No, they didn't. They just ran around in little circles. And yes, we're talking about Dan. We love Dan to death. But man, that dude will spin himself out like nobody's business. And man, Josh, I love the fact that your boss is cool with you working 2 hours, 10 hours a day. As long as the job gets done, man, that's the way we need to do it. It's like you show up a job, say, here's the job. Get it done, you go home. That's it. Whether it takes you 2 or 10, awesome. And so, man, hats off to you, brother, because I think that's amazing. I wish there were more bosses, more companies like that.
I mean, sometimes you can really be so good that you're just like, oh, it's done.
Right.
And sometimes when you first look at it or when it's given to you, it looks really complicated. You're like, damn, this is going to take a long time. And then you get into it and go, oh, boom, boom, done. It's like, oh, there was a way around that to get the work done. And my office boss is great like that. He knows that he can trust that everything's going to get done in my section. And he knows it's going to get done and it's going to be accurate. Cat fur.
Don't eat the cat.
Right.
What's it with you and Mouse chewing on the cat? Stop chewing on the cat.
The cat was in my face. But yeah, he knows it's going to get done. I had to set very, very clear boundaries with Lowe's because they kept calling me to come in on Sundays. Sundays are my one day I will not do any outside work. I mean, other than, Dreaming Dragon stuff, but outside of the house, like go to Lowe's, anything for the office, I won't do it. And they kept calling me. And I'm like, this is my one day off. No. Or they'd schedule a store meeting for 6 a.m. on a Sunday morning.
No.
Because that's before the store opens. It's an all-store meeting. I'm like, no, that's my one day to sleep in.
Right.
Bite me. I actually told my store manager to bite me. Because you're going to be there, right? I said, bite me. That's my one day off. It's my one day to sleep past 6:30. I said, no. I said, schedule it at a human time, and I'll be there.
I like that. I like that. Human time.
They have not asked me about coming to another all-store meeting, and they're still scheduled at 6 o'clock on a Sunday morning. They know better now. Yeah,
Good.
they just don't. Yeah.
And that's key, right? Like, it's important to state your boundaries from the beginning, right? And stick to it, because if you do it once, you're setting a precedent, and then they know it's just a matter of badgering, right? It's a matter of, oh, come on, be a team player, or, oh, everyone else is going to be there, or and never get invited to any of those like old business cocktail party things, because you're just going to be doing work conversation there, right? Like, don't get suckered into one of those.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No, we do, like, I went to conferences in Kansas City last year, and there was a social hour. Oh my God. It was a whole lot of insurance industry people getting drunk. And
I would too if I worked in insurance.
we have to be careful, because the things we discuss as regulators is confidential. And can you mix alcohol with that? We have to be very, very careful that confidential information is not released. And I'm like, I stayed for 20 minutes. Because they had nothing but alcohol to drink. They didn't even have ice water.
What?
I'm like, and in the feedback for that conference, I did give them some feedback about that. But, there's some of us in recovery. We don't drink. We don't whatever. Occasionally, I will have one drink. Rarely.
Right.
Extremely rarely. But, yeah, no. If you're going to have alcohol, you have to have non-alcohol.
Absolutely. Like, I think that was an egregious thing, and frankly, it should have been brought up with HR.
Well, this was a conference put on by our national association in Kansas City at a hotel, all this kind of thing.
And even bigger oversight then.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, I did give them some feedback on that. I said, well, you guys always need to have non-carbonated, non-sugar as well. But yeah, I gave them an earful.
As you should. That is ridiculous. What the heck? How can you all have alcohol? Like, what if these people that just don't drink at all? They've never touched a drop of alcohol in their life, and all you have is alcohol. It's like, you're basically singling them up and telling them, yeah, no, you're not welcome.
Pretty much.
Or recovering alcoholic. You're just begging them to get back into it. Like, really? That's crazy.
Not everyone's
in that situation, being there for that, even though it could have been a good connection, maybe a good networking opportunity, it was not worth my time to stay. I went back to my room and actually called Serenity. And had to decompress because it was so uptight and so much. I was like, oh, I'm going to kill them all.
She was hostile.
I was. But that was the energy that I got from that. And I'm like, oh, that is so not worth my time. And I think that's my measure, is kind of like Crow. If they are toxic, I limit my exposure. There's some people I don't cut 100%, but I significantly limit my exposure. And I put very strict boundaries on those exposures to protect my time and myself.
Kind of have to.
You're right. And so...
Now, of course, there's a lot of people out there that maybe the only connection they have is with toxic people. Mm-hmm. So, I've been in times in my life where I was surrounded by toxic people. And it's like, okay, I can either cut them out of my life and be totally isolated and alone, or I can at least have them around to some degree. So,
right.
You probably have some do. So I'm kind of curious. Now, most of us here are very strong individuals, including Sai. But let me ask you, if there's probably been a point in time in your life where you felt vulnerable, or that these are all you had around you and they probably weren't the best people. So what would you recommend for people in those kind of situations where maybe they're in a toxic relationship, or their friends with their job or whatever it is, some type of livelihood that they kind of depend on is toxic? How would you recommend they deal with it?
I've totally been there. And it fed into me spending 10 years on disability. It totally fed into that. It was really hard to set boundaries. That was the biggest part. And finally saying, I can't do this because it's not good for me. Learning to say no is the hardest thing on the planet. Especially when you care about these other people. And if you have a helper mentality. My expressive love language is doing things for people. Which leads me into having a problem saying no.
That's true.
Big time.
Funny
I know.
You see, you're the type of people, I suppose most of us are here, we like to help. We like to be that person that you can rely on. We'll happily assist in any way that we can. Now, certain people can kind of pick you out of the crowd. They can immediately look at the crowd and be like, oh, that one, and that one. That's the one I'm going to target, because they're not going to say no. So
right, target. I like how you use that word target. That's exactly what they're doing. They're targeting you.
They literally looking at you and be like, that's an easy one. That's another easy one.
That's
gotta
an easy
make
mark.
sure I get on that person. So
right.
Yeah, very toxic. I suppose I would, to someone that's in that kind of situation, only thing I would say is that you kind of have to grow some metal, hanging things.
Balls. Yeah, exactly. Yep. And like Odin said, a lot of people want to take advantage of workers. I leave right away. And Odin, man, sometimes you got to. Sometimes you got to say, no, ain't doing it. I'm out. And sometimes that's for the best, man. I'm mad respect for you, because that is not easy to do. Especially when you got 50 people around you like, oh, yeah. We got to be a team player. No, I don't. Watch. And Crows and me firsthand just go off on my supervisors when they say, you're going out of town. The hell I am. And away I went.
It might not be an iron team, but they can't spell awesome without me, so I'm out.
Ooh, I like that one.
Let me take my awesome ass out. Thank you.
I gotta remember that one. See, it says, when you threaten to leave, they will usually offer you pay increase as a last resort. And sometimes that works. Sometimes it's like Russian roulette. They may offer you more money. If that's what you're in for, you might play the game. And sometimes you have to do that. Other times, they're going to say, oh, you're not a team player? Fine, you're out of here. And it's a tough balance. Absolutely. Acts of service is my expressive love language, and quality time is my receptive language. And I can vouch for that. And just like today, I had to go in, and I was sitting here working on getting the notes ready for Freaky Friday, and a song came on, listened to it, and they said a line in it, and I don't remember the song or the line. But I made sure to go in, take the time, and tell Wildline's like, hey, thank you for letting me have this career, work on this dream, and not sacrifice it, so I can help the people out there, versus just going out punching a time clock for myself and for us. So, she gives a lot for that. And so taking the time to acknowledge that with people that do support you, do put out that effort, is important. Always try to really draw a clear picture that you are not one of those people like Alpha was talking about, saying, yeah, you're a mark, and I'm going to suck up all your energy. People are supporting you in that world, in that way. Make sure to let them know that you appreciate it and that you do acknowledge that. It means a lot to them.
If you feel like you're mentally exhausted, you need to get out of the situation.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Always ready, so I'm not relying on the paychecks. There you go, Odin. Good call, man. I wish I had a backup plan. I don't. I'm just here. This is my backup plan.
Yeah, I think that's why a lot of us that are in crypto generally are coming because we want that backup plan, or we want to get away from the normal way of doing things. You don't want to go sit for a 9 to 5 in a job. I definitely don't want to. I want to work on my own time. I want to be able to know I'm reliant on myself, which is why I'm here. So it's like,
right.
That's kind of, we have a very similar mindset in that. A lot of us, maybe
right.
Some are kind of investing in crypto because they're like, when I retire, I want something I can retire on. The normal way isn't going to cut it, so I'm going to do crypto.
Exactly. And man, Josh, I love this. I will not ask him to do anything that I will not do myself. And man, I'm the same way. And if you tell me it can't be done, I promise you it can, and I'll show you how. And I'll even show you how to do it better and quicker than what you think can be done, just to make it easy that way. I know, Crow, you're very much that kind of way. It's like, let me show you the quickest and most efficient way.
You might think you know better, but I know better than better.
Right.
Everybody I train, I pretty much tell them the same thing. And I tell them, okay, I'm going to teach you my way. I want you to learn my way. Then when you know it, then you can find a better way. Because I guarantee you, after 4 years of doing what I do, I have found the most efficient way that I'm aware of. Not to say it can't be done better, but I need them to learn the correct way first. Then if they can make improvements, more power to them. I said, but before you make it procedure, you need to run it by me. Because maybe there's something to it that they're not, maybe I've ruled that out because there's a ramification that they're not aware of. And so, experience plays into that. I do train people. I very much believe in teaching anybody what needs to be done, and not just the how. I believe in teaching the why. Because if they understand the why is this done this way? It helps them do it better.
Exactly. And when I was cutting wires, working with Crow, and I was one of the key leads, and so my job was to train people how to test, how to properly do this. And I had very much the same mindset as Wild Angels. Like, no, this is how you'll do it. Here's A, B, C, D, E. Here's why you're doing it. Now, after you master this, if you find a quicker way, great, share it with me. And I will pass that knowledge to everybody, and we'll change the entire rules. And I'll definitely give you credit because you found a better way. And I think that's important, is explaining the whys, because there's so many things that can go wrong, especially like in electrical testing, things like that, like we do with Crow. If they screw something up, even the minus thing, they may not realize it affected 10 things down the line. And there's a reason this step is in there. And if you don't do it, you just failed the entire thing. It's totally useless.
Odin says, many bosses will not even put the effort to train your hires anymore. Pretty sad. I like Joshua's reply. That's why they are bosses, not leaders.
And, just because they're in a step above you, well, Serenity, you ran into this when Dan was your boss. You were the leader. You were the one people went to. Crow, I'm sure you're it now. They come to you. They don't go to Dan. He may be the boss, but you guys are the leaders. And I strive to be that. Not always the greatest at it, but, I strive to be that.
And that's an
So-
important differentiation between a boss and a leader. Is a leader will say, dude, I screwed up, man, my bad, I was wrong. Bosses don't. They will make excuses, they will pass it around to everybody else on the planet, but a true leader will say, yeah, man, my bad, I was wrong, you were right, and give you credit for that. Do you find that same balance there, Crow?
Yeah, I agree with that. Bosses will not own up to their stuff. It can't be their fault because they are omnipotent. Whereas leaders
Yeah.
make mistakes. I mean, everyone makes mistakes. Even the omnipotent ones.
Omnipotent ones, exactly. It says they will keep untrained so they can dump all the blame on you behind your back. Exactly, yeah.
Yep.
And that was always my goal, even as a dad, as an employer, as everything else. I always told my guys, my kids, and everybody, like, I want you to be better than me. That's my goal. I told Crow that for years. I expect you to be better than me, and I'm going to train you with every piece of knowledge I have, hoping that you will exceed that, and you will be far better than I am, because you're going to have more time at it. You're going to have more energy, more effort. You're younger, and I think that's what really makes this world special. Is we're spending our time teaching people. That's key. We got to help other people, but we can't rescue them. We got to help them learn. So you don't trade for somebody, or you don't do the job for them. You give them the information, you turn them loose, and you guide and assist them on their journey. And by doing that, they build up not only the knowledge, but also the confidence to perform these tasks and have the courage to go out and do these new things. And if you're not spending your time in these valuable ways, but you're just doing it for somebody, you're sacrificing your time for absolutely nothing, because they're not learning anything for it. You're not getting rewarded for it. So what's the point? Why are you even doing it? And that's kind of the whole grounds of what tonight's topic was about, is how are you spending your time? Are you spending it in a way that is productive, helpful, whether it's to society, to friends, for finance, for something? Your time is super valuable. And if you're not putting a dollar amount or some kind of value to your time, then you're hurting yourself in the long run. And that's really important to think about. So the workplace is not like it when I was young. A lot of bad behavior. Yeah, I agree, Odin. There is a ton of bad behavior, and it's horrible to think about.
And a lot of modern jobs could be done at home, yet so many companies still require you to go in, which is utterly ridiculous. It's like, that's way more efficient, it costs way more money, and it makes the roads very busy at certain times, because that's when everyone's going home. It's like, why? What's the reason? There's absolutely no need for it.
And actually, during COVID, granted, our entire office went home and worked from home for 2 years. And they finally started bringing people back because they actually found in our industry, for what we do, okay, it was less efficient. Work wasn't getting done. I'll tell you, if Serenity knows, I've tried to work from home a couple times. When I had my back surgery a couple years ago, holy hell, that was hard to work from home. And I limited what I did. But a full day, every day, I would need at least 3 monitors. I'd have to go work in Serenity Studio to have enough screens. Granted, they only let us have 2 at work, but
Dumb.
I know it is. We now use our laptops as a 3rd monitor. I put my email on that screen and everything else up on the big screens. But we actually found it was less productive when people worked at home. So now, if I wanted to in the off season, during peak tax season, I can't do it just because I don't have enough stuff here to do the job. But in the off season, if I wanted to remote 2 days a week, they'd let me.
That's cool.
That's nice. That is cool.
See,
Well,
that would be good. But now I've noticed, even now as a full-time content creator, this is what I do. I have some days like that. I just can't get in the groove. Now, when I was going into work, punching a time clock, I would drag my ass around no matter what it was. Like, okay, I feel like shit, but I'm still here. I'm doing it. What do you guys think? Is that a better way to go? Is to, if you can work at home, do you think that's going to affect productivity? Do you think it's unwise, or do you think it's better to make people go in and just suffer through? What do you guys think?
Depends
I
on how
think
you
that-
do it.
I think it depends on the employee, because there's some employees that need that I'm in the office, this is my time to work. Other people have that super self-discipline. Okay, this time to this time, I'm locking myself in this room in my house and I'll come out for lunch. You know? I can't do that.
Right.
When I had to work from home with my back surgery, there were days, and I will still, like if I have an appointment or something, I'll work remote in the morning. I log in and I'm not the most productive person.
Me neither.
And so, I think it depends on the nature of the employee and the job.
Right.
That
I like. Good.
Okay. And the environment. So it's easy to not be able to work when you're in an environment where you usually relax, because as you relax, your brain is confused because like, why are you working now when you should be relaxing? But if you have an office space, which I'm sure as soon as Serenity walks into the studio, it's different. His brain instantly clicks into content mode. But if he goes out and it's like, but it's easier in the studio because his brain knows the studio is where he creates content. But if you walk out of the studio,
right, that's the trick. Yeah, that's the hard part, and that's where I've been struggling because it's I game here and I try to up until like 8 o'clock when Crow gets on. It's like, okay, this is 7 o'clock dinner, 8 o'clock game, and I try to separate, but it doesn't always work, and it makes it tough. It makes it tough for sure. And
go ahead now.
It's like what Josh was saying here. It's like work ethic is learned in childhood. I don't think it's being taught by parents these days, and it's not. I mean, think about all the things kids have nowadays, and I look back what I had in the 80s and 90s, and I had a whole lot less than what they do now, and I had a whole lot more time of boredom, so I made up my own shit. But it's tough. It's tough to balance that, and even worse is, especially with family or people who maybe grew up with very little. Now that they're adults, now that they can start buying toys, things like that, then they overcompensate for what they didn't have as a child. And so, it's a tough balance. And so, the one thing it always costs, no matter what you're doing, whether it's playing it, having fun, whatever, is time. So, even playing video games, I ask myself sometimes, why am I spending this much time in a game? What am I getting from it? What's the reward for it? Is it because I'm playing with other people, spending time with them? That's a value. That's connection. Is it that I'm locked in a room by myself playing this game for whatever, just to get the next level? I mean, what's the point? So it gets really interesting when we start talking about time versus reward versus connection. What are you getting out of that time that you're spending, and why are you spending it? So it says it was funny because he had no choice to keep him in because they were short on people. Okay, that's fair. Yeah, like even the cleaning guy went around pandemic, started spraying people. Hey, you're dirty. Let me spray you. I could see that. I would do something like that just because I'm that kind of guy. But guys, we're actually over our time tonight.
We are.
But it's been a good chat. But let's say if somebody out there is struggling with time, and if maybe they don't know how to manage their time or to even evaluate what their time is worth, let's give them a piece of advice as we go out to help them through that struggle. So Alpha, take it away, and we'll go around the room here.
Okay. I will say the most important piece of advice that I can give is sometimes you have to say no. Learn to say no, because at the end of the day, if you're just giving your time to everyone, what is your time worth at that point? You're just devaluing all your time. So learn to say no. Find the things where you can be like, yeah, but this is just a waste of my time, my energy, and my mental space. So just not going to do it. No, thank you. Bye. Snip, snip.
Cut him loose. You're out of here. Okay, Wild Angel, what do you got?
For me, I have to look at how do I feel after spending that time doing whatever the activity is. Do I feel drained, or do I feel energized? Do I feel cranky, or am I happy or at least content? Things that make me cranky, things that leave me feeling drained or people that leave me feeling drained. I have to limit those exposures. Yes, you.
I was tormenting Alpha. I was looking at. I was like, "Yeah, I know somebody like that."
There are days I have to limit my exposures to Serenity.
Oh yeah, absolutely, and vice versa.
Because our energies are conflicting that day.
Mhm.
And so we just step back.
And that's okay.
Right. Knowing how we feel when we are exposed to these things helps me gauge whether the time I'm spending is valuable or if it is a waste of my time. So I challenge people to think, do a little self-analysis. How do they feel after spending their time doing those things?
Absolutely. And like Joshua says, make sure to allot time for yourself during all these journeys and all these things. So yeah, make sure to block out some time. It's like, this is my time, and tell everybody else, just no, ain't doing it. Forget it.
Mm-hmm.
My nail appointments.
Yeah.
Getting my nails done is my thing.
Yep. Exactly. Okay, Crow, what do you got for us, Bird God?
There is always, always, always an option. Especially when it comes to time and stuff like that, or anything in life. Abusive relationships, bad relationships, anything. There's always an option. At the workplace, especially. You know, like, I've the past, 2 weeks, I want to say, I have heard from multiple people saying, like, I requested time off from this place, and they, well in advance within the parameters, and they denied me, so now I gotta go to work, and like, okay, well, I'm like, well, what are my options? Because I have plans that day. I'm like, well, you have two options. You can either go to work, or you can say, no, I'm not going to be there. Good luck. That's always an option. But, actions have consequences. So just keep that in mind. Like abusive relationships. I mean, there's always a way out. There's always a way out. It doesn't seem like it often in times. But there is always, always, always a way out. It may not be the most pleasant for you or them, but there is a way out.
Agreed.
Time is super duper duper essential. Don't waste it on people who don't deserve it. And oftentimes, a lot of people have one person. They're like, why am I even spending my time with this person? So
True.
It's a good point. And it says, I like that. The choice is always ours in the end. You're right. That's the only power we actually have in this world is the power of choice. We don't have the power of age or skin color or male or female. We don't have any of those choices. We do have the power of choice. So, hey, make a choice and stand by it. You deserve it. PTO is prepare for others.
the
Prepare the others.
Oh, prepare the others. Okay. I like that. That is good. That's good. Love it. Yeah, that's a great quote. And guys, for my advice, remember you are valuable. I don't care who you are. I don't care where you are. You are valuable and your time is precious because there's a finite amount. So please remember that when people ask you for assistance, when people say, hey, can you work overtime? Things like that. Remember, you are valuable because a lot of people will not take the time to tell you that because they don't want you to know that. They don't want you to think that. They want you to think that their business is valuable. Their problem is valuable. It's not. Your time is valuable. So remember that. So if you dedicate time to something, make sure it's worthy. And that's why personally, I dedicate my time to you guys because I think all of you are worthy of that time. And I want to thank you for that and say, hey, I hope to be here every week for a very long time to make sure that my time is well spent with people that are as great as you. So thank you guys. And it says, thank you for the stream. It's very motivational. Awesome. Good to hear it, Odin. And guys, love you all. Stay safe out there and take some time for yourself and the ones that you love and let them know that they are valuable as well. Show them, tell them. Just do something special for them. So, love you all. Have a great weekend and we'll catch you next Friday. Bye, guys.
Bye.